Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So hari ini kita live di Pelari Denai bersama tetamu dari Colorado, USA. Okay, selamat pagi. Apa khabar semua? Welcome. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are okay. I'll be talking in English basically today, and we have a special guest all the way from Colorado, USA. So again, introducing myself. My name is Ismail Mukris. I'm from Pelari Denai. And without further ado, I'm just gonna tell you guys the introduction. We have the man himself, the legend. Everybody knows him. Okay, so you guys have been waiting for this. And apa khabar, Rino? How are you, Rino? Bonjour. So while we are waiting, I think without further ado, I'm going to invite my guest. Okay, his name is none other than. Hi, Anton. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you, Ismail. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
What time is it over there at Colorado?
Yeah, it's 8 p.m. So it's this. I'm getting to be an old man, so I go to bed early. so this is usually the time of night where I start winding down a little bit, and yeah, so just finished eating dinner, and yeah, now I'm on here chatting with you guys. So thanks for everyone tuning in. Yeah.
Okay, for your information, this is a community or page called Pelari Denai, which means in Malaysia, trail runner.
Oh, okay.
So we have news about local Malaysia trail running scenes, and we basically cover the trail runnings in Malaysia. And it's an honor to have you to be chatting with us after you have been so long missing.
Sure. Well, I didn't go anywhere. I didn't run a race for 6 years, I guess, and didn't run 100 miles for 7 years. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's my body. I think part of it is just getting older. So I started getting injured a lot, and finally this year, it kind of came together enough to where I could line up for a 100-mile ultra marathon again.
Right. Okay. Because one thing that kind of like question for us, right? I mean, all of a sudden, you have been missing for like 6 years, doing your own stuff, touring here and there, and then all of a sudden we see you at Leadville, right? So that was like, wow, what a comeback that was. I mean, what made you come back with Leadville then?
Yeah, so the Leadville 100. First off, it's only 2 hours from where I live here in Colorado, so it's easy, it's accessible. Second, La Sportiva is one of the main sponsors of the event, so I had the privilege of being able to get into the race at a late date. I don't know how it is in Malaysia, but in the States, trail races, there's a lot of restrictions on the amount of runners there can be, so they fill up very quickly, so it's hard to get an entry. But I was able to, through La Sportiva, get an entry to the race whenever I wanted. And then, and then three, Leadville was my first 100 15 years ago, and I've run it, before this year I'd run it 5 times. This was my 6th run, my 4th finish. So it's a race that has a lot of, I guess, personal significance to me, but it also has significance in the sport. It's a high-profile race, and as I've gotten older, I find that making those connections to like the previous parts of your life and the history of your life are important. You know, so Yeah, it's a race that has meaning for me.
Because if I'm not mistaken, you started with Leadville. I mean, that was your first podium, and it's kind of sentimental, right?
Yeah, I mean, so 2006, that was Leadville was the first ultra I ever ran, my first 100 mile or two, and I won. So it's kind of like what launched me my whole career. So to come back 15 years later was special, and to get on the podium again for sure was exciting.
As a minimalist, right? I mean, you have been the minimalist runner, as we all know about it. You've been running in a minimal amount of clothing and everything.
Sure, sure.
So how is that? I mean, when did that come in? I mean, is it like naturally or?
Yeah, I mean, so for me, when I started in the sport, I didn't know anything about the sport of ultra running. I'd been running for over 10 years, and I was running a lot, so I was fit, I was in shape, but I didn't have any, I guess, preconceived notions about the way that I should do things. And I find that is the most, when you're young and you're naive or maybe even ignorant, you're the most free. You can do whatever you want, because you don't have any idea of what you're not supposed to do. And so I've always just, I mean, I don't know, been myself, done what I've wanted to do. And that was something like I don't know. It's important to me to not do something just because everyone else is doing it, I guess.
Yeah,
And so and so for me, it's always just felt the most natural to not carry a lot of stuff when I run. If I'm hot, I won't wear a shirt. But I mean, maybe you saw in Leadville this year, it was raining at some points, and then at night it always gets colder. So of course I'm wearing a shirt then. So I don't know. It's just it's funny because people always make a big deal out of that, but to me it just feels normal and natural, not like it's different or special or something.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I mean, that's how you need to do on the races. I mean, go minimal as you can.
And just like whatever you're comfortable with,
Exactly.
And like, but so at Leadville, there's Hope Pass, which is almost 4,000 meters. And you cover that, you go over that twice. Like you go over and then you come back. And I took a jacket with me. I never wore it, but I had a jacket with me, so it's that kind of thing where I'm prepared, but I'm just more comfortable usually without a shirt on. That's all.
I even remember last time there's a video of you cutting the sole of the shoe or something like that. Like,
sure.
Tell us about that.
Well, that's when I was young. That's not the case anymore. I haven't modified shoes in a long time, over 10 years probably. No, but back then, so and I was actually a La Sportiva pair of shoes, and I bought them off the shelf. Like I wasn't sponsored yet. La Sportiva sponsored me after that race, but it was just a matter. I was really into having no differential between the forefoot and the heel, and so the heel was a little too high, so I cut the heel off so that it was flat. And that's just to have a more natural foot strike. But now, for almost 5 years now, I've had significant Achilles tendon problems. So for me now, I don't mess with the flat shoe anymore. I like having a little heel lift most of the time. So yeah.
I see. So some of the viewers said that you have nice shirt.
Well, it's La Sportiva.
All right. Anyway, back to the questions. You have started running from the 5th grade, right? 12 years old, right? What inspires you to run until today?
What inspires me today? From
the start. From 12 years old, and
sure,
then after that, yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, when you're 12 and you're like almost a teenager, you're in middle school, you're just you're developing an identity. You're figuring out who you are, what yourself is. And that's what running was for me. It was a way to figure out who am I? What is my identity? And that when I was that age, it was something that I could latch onto because I had like a little bit of success. I was kind of good at it, and so you gravitate towards those things that you have talent for, right? So when I was younger, that was the case, but because running is this addictive activity, I immediately became, addicted to it, I guess, and became a daily runner very quickly. And then, but now, we're talking 26 years later. It's such a part of my identity. It's so much who I am. But also, for the last 10 years, I've also been a climber and a cyclist and a skier. And those things are very important to me. And they're all very similar in that you're moving outdoors, often in the mountains, right? But the thing with running is it's very simple. All you need is a pair of shoes, a pair of shorts, and you can go. With those other things, you have to mess with skis, you have to mess with a climbing rack and a rope and a partner and all that stuff. And a bicycle, it's complicated, So I like the simplicity and the pure. It's a very elemental kind of primal form of movement, and so it'll always appeal to me that way.
Like what you mentioned just now, right? I mean, how do you maintain those focus and during those runs, right? I mean, what motivates?
Like races or
like races. I mean, normal running, I think it's in your blood already. For me,
sure, yeah. I mean, normal running. I listen to lots of podcasts and music when I run now too. Not so much on the trails, but if I'm running roads, I listen to that stuff, or concrete or something. But on the trails, I don't listen to anything. I'm just paying more attention to what's going on around me. But during races, that's the special thing about racing, is that it requires you to be completely present, and you're not dissociating. You are focused, and you're paying attention. You're thinking about, am I eating enough? Am I drinking enough? Is this the correct pace for this point in the race? How am I feeling? And I don't know. I never get bored during a race. It's just you're thinking all the time, and I'm focused on the act, I guess. And that's what's so special about racing, is that you're fully present and you're focused for so many hours. And that's an uncommon thing in life, I think, especially now. Like, it's so easy to be distracted by the internet, really, and media and entertainment. So I really appreciate racing for that.
Wow. Because even the latest level, we noticed that you are really focused during the race. And the best part during the race, you were like, I think from 12 and then going up to third, and that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, so there it was starting more conservative. So early on, I was 30th place, something like that. But then, eventually at mile 60 or 100 kilometers in, I moved up to second place and held that for 150 kilometers. And then it finished third eventually. But it's just the whole time I'm just focused on myself and how I feel, and making sure that I'm drinking enough and eating enough. And, it's my 6th time doing that race. I think it was my 11th or 12th 100 miler. So yeah, I know how I should feel at certain points during the race, and that's how you are able to move up late like that.
Yeah, I mean, amazing, because you have been like resting for 6 years, and then all of a sudden you just push, and then even for us, we are here in Malaysia, we're watching the live, and then we're rooting for you, to be honest.
Sure.
And it's like, wow, you are like, we thought that you can like push it until the first place, but still there is some achievement,
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, I didn't rest for 6 years, I didn't take 6 years off. I was doing a lot of exercise those 6 years, a lot of cycling, a lot of skiing. Climbing isn't as relevant, but skiing in the winter and biking in the summer, it keeps you fit, and I was always able to run a little bit, but not enough to be ready to run 100 miles, I guess. So it just took me 6 years to get back to where I could feel confident running 100 miles again.
All right. Let me see if I have this. I'm just going to pull up this. Hold on, right? I'm going to share a screen here just for us to watch. This is. Do you know this is? Wow.
Yeah, I was tired there. I was really tired.
Yeah,
On the
we can see
camera.
from that, but you still okay then.
Yeah, I was. I think the next thing I asked if I could have a chair to sit down. Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Because my legs had been hurting for a long time. Yeah.
So how was the experience? I mean, the whole Latvia experience. I mean, can you share with us like from the beginning until to the finish of the race? I
Sure.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
For me, I guess the main difference this year was that I just had a lot of gratitude. I was grateful for being able to be on a start line again. So I wanted to make sure that I respected the distance and that I honored the distance, and I honored the event by my first goal was just to finish, so with that attitude, I started off easy, and then I don't know, people just went out too quickly for their abilities, and so I gradually moved up until halfway. I think I moved into 4th or 5th place, and when you're going over Hope Pass, it's the big mountain that you do twice. That's where I really moved up and eventually moved into 2nd. Because I mean, the mountains are, that's where my strength is, I guess. And then it was nice because there was, it rained a little bit in the afternoon, and so it kept it nice and cool. Sometimes it can get really hot, but this year it wasn't. And then it was just trying to, hold it together to get to the finish line, those last 50 kilometers. But the last, let's see, 20 Ks, those are rough. I did really well into the last 20 kilometers. And from there, I just felt like I was surviving to get to the finish.
I thought
Yeah.
you did push during the last kilometers, right?
I mean, I tried. I pushed hard until about 20 kilometers to go, and then I just didn't have anything left, and I was just kind of shuffling to the finish. And that's when I got past with 10K to go. Yeah, it's just how it is sometimes. I don't know. I'm hopeful that the next one I do, maybe I'll be stronger because I've done this one now, and it won't be 7 years until the next one, hopefully.
Okay, we have some viewers asking me. I mean, about your Latvia. What is your nutrition that you took during Latvia? Actually?
Yeah, this year was a little different. I wanted to make sure to try and eat more real food, not so much energy gels and drinks. So for the first half, I really focused on eating burritos, just little tortillas with like beans and cheese. So it's some protein and calories, and it's salty and savory instead of sweet, So that was the first half. But then the second half, you just start to get so tired that you don't want to have to chew so much.
Mm-hmm.
So the second half, I moved to energy gels, goos, Cliff Shots, that kind of thing, and also fruit, watermelon, oranges, grapes. What else? Yeah, I mean that's the main thing, and then also Coca-Cola. You're drinking just Coke because it's sugar, and by the end, all you can really do is sip on. Yeah, and then I had a little bit. Yeah, and then at the very end, I had some coffee, some cold brew coffee, just to it has caffeine, so it gives you a boost. So yeah, that was my main nutrition plan. But the main thing was to be eating real food for the first half, and then move to the energy food the second half.
I see. Like here, Donnie is asking, how do you prepare before the event? I mean, nutrition wise, food wise.
I don't do anything special. I just live my normal life. Yeah, I don't know. My girlfriend Haley is a good cook, and she's really good about making nutritious food.
Wow.
She's vegetarian. I'm mostly vegetarian, but I mean, I eat meat. I don't know, maybe once a week, but that's not. I don't know. I don't think any of that. As long as you have a well balanced diet, I think that's all that matters.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think that there's any special secret there. And then, of course, the week before the race, I cut way back on training and just jogging a little bit each day, and maybe go for a short bike ride. But you're trying to rest up. You're tapering.
All right. There is a question here, asking that how's your Achilles currently? Seems like you're having issues.
Yeah, it's just the normal. It's the way it always is. I'm not that worried about it because it's just this happens all the time where like I do something a little kind of big on it, and then I have to take a few weeks where maybe I can only bike and wait for it to heal. I mean, I went into this race. I decided that I was going to be okay if I had to take 2 months off afterwards, because I was like, well, I want to try running 100 miles again. So, and it's better than that. Like I can run a little bit, but just I can't push hard on it right now.
All right. Even like one of the questions here, right? For the past 2 years, you've been doing into climbing and cycling. How do you train for your wheel? And well, like what you just mentioned just now, you have been training actually, right?
Yeah. So with I didn't run very much to get ready for Leadville. I think in the 6 months leading up to Leadville, I averaged, what would that be? 50, 60, like about 70 kilometers. Yeah, 70 or 80 kilometers a week, which isn't that much. Like that's pretty normal. That it comes out to like an hour a day. But I was usually just I was running 2 or 3 days a week. And then the other days I would bike and climb or ski. So running 2 or 3 days a week, each time I go run, it's a couple of hours,
Mm-hmm.
And then right at the very end, in the last month before the race, I did 2 long runs, and each one was about 75K. And so, you get 2 long runs like that. That's, at least I think now, that's enough for me to be ready for 100 miles.
All right. Sharon Tan has a question here. Do you change your shoes along the race? Do you change the La Sportiva shoes model according to the terrain?
Yeah, so I thought about doing that. My crew, you have your crew that can meet you along the way during the race. They had 2 different models with them. They had the Caracol and the Mutant. And I thought maybe I would want the Mutant for going over Hope Pass because it's more mountainous, it's more technical. But I decided that, and you also have to you have to wade a river. So you're up to your knees in water crossing this river, and you do that twice. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll want dry shoes. But when you get in the race, it's too much time to change shoes. It takes me about 3 minutes to change my shoes, and that was more time than I wanted to sit down for. Because it's hard to make up 3 minutes then,
Yeah,
I did change. Yeah, I did change my socks once though, because my socks were wet and my feet were starting to get wrinkly and macerated, and that can be quite painful. So I did change. I put on dry socks once, but I never ended up changing my shoes.
I have a question. Do you have any problems with blisters?
Yeah, I got blisters. I got a big blister on my toes, but it wasn't enough to change my foot strike or my stride or anything. But after the race, it was a huge blister. Like all the skin on the bottom of my foot came off. But that's just running 100 miles. Like today, actually, I lost my big toenail. Yeah, I mean that's totally standard.
That's a common thing.
Yeah, it's totally normal. Yeah.
We have Donnie here asking, do you prefer what do you prefer to do training? Running up the mountains or cycling or running flat?
I mean, I like it all now. I think in the past I used to avoid running flat, but now with my Achilles, running in the mountains it's harder on the Achilles. So, I mean, that would be my favorite for sure, but I can't do it as much. So now I run on the flat more. But I guess I prefer running in the mountains. Yeah.
All right, we'll go to that question later on. Let's see what question else do we have. Other than that, okay, I have a question on the. You mentioned earlier about the pandemic and stuff. Does it affect your training or any activities over there in Colorado?
In the beginning, a year and a half ago,
Hmm?
a little bit, mostly climbing was the main thing. It didn't going to a climbing area wasn't allowed, but running and biking, I was able to. It didn't really affect. We didn't have like a stay at home order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I mean, we could go out to run or to bike, but there was no. You weren't stopping at
Restriction.
the cafe anymore or anything.
I see.
So you had to be completely self-sufficient. But yeah, it didn't really affect my training.
All right, but you did mention just now you are into coffee, right? What type of coffee are you into?
Black.
Black.
Yeah, that's I don't know. And I'm not I like a lighter roast. I don't like a dark roast so much. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. I use a pour over and then also like a stovetop mocha pot, like a Bialetti, the
Yeah, you
Italian
brew
way.
your own coffee, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time.
So yeah, I don't know. But I don't discriminate too much. I like coffee in any form typically.
All right. We have a question here from Maylet. Nutrition plays important role during races. How do you start to identify and adapt what kind of nutrition is suitable during races? How long do you take to experiment it? Because this is something that to be honest, right? You over there, the weather over there is kind of hot, but here is kind of humid. So
Hmm.
that's also one of the things that we notice whenever we run here in Malaysia. It's also affected the nutrition itself.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess for me here, I'm training in the same kind of conditions that I race in,
Hmm.
and I don't know. It's to me, racing and training are different. I know you're supposed to practice in training what you do in a race, but I never eat in training the way that I do in a race, and that's just me. A lot of people seeing their nutrition during training, but I don't. I don't know. That's so. I mean, like so for instance, at Leadville this year, I had never eaten burritos during a run before,
Oh,
um,
that was your first.
but I knew that they would agree with me because I've eaten them on the bike a lot,
Ah,
and so that's I just knew it would be fine, and I don't know. I think people get too caught up in the details, and really the main thing that makes you successful at these races is your mindset, is being mentally
mentally.
mentally
Yeah.
tough. Yeah. And like it's going to be very uncomfortable, and you just have to be mentally prepared for that. Everything else kind of takes care of itself. I don't know. That's
But
not
come back.
that's not yeah, it's not a good answer, but it's the truth for me.
Well, it's a good thing. I mean, because like what you did last time, you said that you started your that was your first ultra marathon, right? So how
Yeah.
do you mentally prepare? Like, I have to finish it. I have to like finish the whole 100 miles.
It's a big adventure, and the definition of an adventure is you're not certain of the outcome, so that you go in uh, knowing that it's going to be really hard and you might not finish. But if you are committed to finishing, you can make it happen, and you're going to have, at the very least, a memorable experience. So that's kind of the way I think about it.
Great. All right. Coming up to the next questions, I'm just going to change the topics now. I mean, we've talked about Latvia,
Mm-hmm.
but recently, I think you. I mean, I don't know whether you update on it. We know that the latest UTMB won by all the Frenchmen.
Mm.
So, what's your take on the latest UTMB?
What? Sorry, I just think. What about UTMB?
I mean, what's your take? I mean, what's the whole summary when you see the latest UTMB? Like,
This year? You
yeah,
mean?
this year.
Uh, well, it's funny because because I had just run Leadville like the week before.
Yep.
I actually paid attention to UTMB this year, and for the last 5 years, I haven't paid attention to it. But this year, I don't know. It's hard to say. Obviously, the Frenchmen did an amazing job. I mean, the American women did really well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't argue with Courtney, yeah.
Yeah.
Or my friend
Have
Abby
you raced
Hall.
with
Yeah.
her? Have you
Sorry?
run with her before? Have you
I
run
mean,
with?
we know each other, but I don't train with her or anything.
Oh.
Yeah, just acquaintances, you know. But I don't know. I think it's just UTMB is a hard event. You know, I've done it twice, and I dropped out once and had a really slow finish the second time. And
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Honestly, I think the biggest problem is that it's so late in the summer because it's late August, and so at that point you've been training hard for 6 or 7 months at least, and you've probably already been racing for 3 or 4 months. So it's the end of a long season, so you got to focus on it a little more intently, I suppose. But that's hard to do because it's like you wait all summer. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah, because I noticed that every year UTMB they has different conditions. Sometimes they have storm, you
Yeah.
know, all
Well,
this kind of stuff.
we get rain in the United States too. I mean, I don't know. That shouldn't make a difference, but
Yeah.
it is a complicating factor. Usually in the United States, races are just hot, and at UTMB you can get snowed on.
Yep.
So it's another complicating factor for sure.
Like for you, weather changes that doesn't affect you during your race. Does it affect or?
I mean, it can, but for me, I actually prefer if the weather is bad because I know that everyone, maybe not everyone, but a lot of other people will have a bad race.
Struggle.
I remember, I did this 80-kilometer race in Spain. I mean, it was like 10 years ago, but uh, a lot of the top runners dropped out because it was raining the whole time, very cold, like maybe 5 degrees. And I finished second. Killian beat me, but I just don't. I do well in the cold. I don't. It doesn't bother me as much. So I don't know. Yeah.
But you have beat Killian before, right? Like Unbreakable.
Only once. Yeah, just
Yeah,
once. Yeah. Western States. Yeah.
yeah. How was it? How's the feeling during Western State? That was a great race anyway. I mean, during Western State, I thought that the last stretch was like wow.
Yeah. I mean, Killian was very young then. I mean, I was a lot younger too, obviously, but I had a good race that day. I don't know. I felt good all day. I had trained very well, and I was strong to the end. I was trying to win, but didn't quite make it. But yeah, I don't know. That was such a long time ago. I don't really think about it that often anymore. So yeah.
But it's kind of fun for us. I mean, for me, especially when every time I came across the video, I mean the YouTube of Unbreakable, it's like wow,
Mm.
it's like an epic race for you and the other guys.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But part of that is because there is a video, there's a film,
Yeah,
so it allows people
to watch
to
it
have
again.
to have an inside look at the race, and so as a result, like that race is thought of as being epic and iconic.
How about your experience in UTMB? You did mention that you've run UTMB before, and then uh, the whole course with the other athletes, right? So, how does it feel to have that vibe or environment with the other runners?
I mean, I really enjoyed both of my runs at UTMB. Um, it is, it's overwhelming, kind of. It's a big circus, but that's kind of why you go there. Like, uh, I mean, it's nice for a race to be unique and special, right? To have all
Mhm.
that extra energy. So I don't know. I mean the mountains are unlike anywhere else in the world, really. So that's another bonus. And the competition is the highest that there is anywhere. So it's going to be a hard race. It's going to be fast, and you'll find out how you stack up, I suppose. But yeah, I really have enjoyed all of my time that I've had in Chamonix.
Nice. Here we have random questions here. We all know you are minimalist shoe. What do you think of a carbon plate shoe?
Hmm.
Do you think you want to try it in the future?
I mean, I've always been a fan of shoes with rock plates
Uh-huh.
for that very reason, because I think it makes the shoe more responsive, like the Bushido, for instance.
Yep.
It has that plastic plate in it, and I like that shoe because it's stiffer and it gives you more energy back. So I don't know, carbon plate, sure. It's I don't know, but again, this comes down to 100 miles is not determined by what shoes you're wearing. It's
Uh-huh.
determined by how stubborn you're going to be, how well you've taken care of yourself, how willing you are to problem solve, how strong you are in your mind.
Mentally,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I don't know, shoes, whatever.
So
Like
so
it's
it's
like carbon doesn't matter. I don't know.
okay, exactly. So it doesn't matter whether it's carbon or not. So mentally and physically, you should be ready and prepared for the race. And
Yeah, exactly.
just from the range of all La Sportiva shoes, right? Which one is your favorite?
Oh, the mutant. Yeah, I mean that
Uh,
one. I've been running that shoe for 7 years now. It holds my foot the best on technical terrain, and I find the outsole to be the best outsole. Uh, Very grippy on rock, very grippy on off trail. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's my favorite shoe.
all right. What is the key difference between a comfort level of a approach shoe versus a trail running shoe?
A road shoe versus a trail running shoe.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
a comfort approach shoe.
yeah. Well, I mean, a trail running shoe, the upper has to hold your foot on top of the sole better. It
Mhm.
can't be as soft, and it also you need better traction because you're on variable surfaces. Um, that's the main difference. And as a result, trail shoes don't run very well on pavement
Mhm.
because like the bigger lugs or sticky rubber, that kind of thing. It can be kind of jarring. But I mean, I try and spend a lot of my time on trail, so I don't know. I'm always on trail shoes.
But I remember last time you did wear one shoe that's for bouldering or like for climbing. Is it a Sportiva shoe or something?
Um, well, I mean, I wear Sportiva climbing shoes. I don't think I understand the
Ah,
question. Yeah,
the
not for running, but for
for
climbing.
climbing.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
see. Okay, come back to the climbing. You do like to do climbing and bouldering, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
how
mean,
often do you? Yeah, how often do
oh,
you?
I was climbing this morning.
Oh,
I would say like pretty regularly is 3 days a week is pretty standard. Um, I don't know. It's just something I really enjoy, and I think it helps when I'm on more technical terrain in the mountains. I'm more comfortable, and some of my favorite things to do is technical alpine running. So climbing is helpful that way.
all right. The question just now, Dilu was asking approach shoe TX2. That's what she mentioned about
Hmm.
the different shoe.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's an approach shoe. I mean, I wear that. I don't wear that so much for running. It's too thin. It doesn't have enough cushion.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it's very sticky. It's very light. Uh, that's my favorite approach shoe from Sportiva for sure.
Right. Uh, when do you decide to like rope up or not
Hmm.
using a rope during your climbs?
That's a very personal decision, I guess. You have to be honest with yourself and with your skill level and with your comfort level, and it varies. That changes day to day. Like some days I might feel comfortable on something where the next day I'll want to rope on it, and vice
Uh-huh.
versa. So you have to be constantly checking in with yourself and making sure that you're being honest with yourself and that you're making good decisions.
Because I think from the looks of it, I have a picture here. You are so into climbing. See, you are smiling that nothing is going on there.
Yeah, I mean, because that's easy there. It's that's scrambling. It's what we call fifth class, low fifth class, easy fifth class.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people would want a rope there, but I've been doing this kind of scrambling for over 10 years now, so it's I'm very comfortable on it. But yeah.
So is it something that you do for like adrenaline rush, or it's just like daily routine for you?
Daily routine. I don't like adrenaline. I don't do anything for an adrenaline rush.
Ah,
If I'm feeling adrenaline, I've done something wrong. I don't like it. It makes you shaky. Makes you feel scared. I like climbing and scrambling like this because
uh-huh.
it's full body engagement. It's not just your legs, it's your upper body too,
Mm-hmm.
and it's you have to be focused. Like your mind has to be engaged too. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think one of the main things in climbing is focus. I mean, you have to focus on all the steps that you're taking, all
Hmm.
the climbs and stuff.
Yeah, it's much slower than running. So, but it's more of a choreographed kind of sequence of movement.
Do you listen to any music during your climbs?
No, not at all. Never. Takes too much
Ah,
focus. Yeah, yeah. I could never do that. Yeah.
all right. Okay. And okay, we are talking about climbing, and then you also been doing some bike touring, especially. I mean, even yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, you did your bike tour here and there. You've been cycling here and there. So tell us about your I mean bike tour here and there, and how is it help you in daily trainings
I mean, I don't. Not everything I do is to help me with training. I like
for
to go on.
leisure?
Yeah, I like to go on bike tours because I enjoy camping and I enjoy riding my bicycle. You know,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't matter to me if that affects my ability to run or not. Like I do it for itself. I don't do it as just a way to become a better runner or something. Um, but so yeah, I don't know. I like Haley and I. We do a lot of bike touring. It's a really special way to see the world. I don't know. It's when you're on a bicycle, people kind of open up to you. I think everyone can associate a bicycle with a feeling of freedom, and certainly that's part of why I enjoy it. But everyone wants to talk to you then about it, and so it can be a good mechanism for breaking down barriers and making connections with people.
Uh-huh.
Um, but also biking, being on a bicycle, it's so much easier to cover a lot of ground,
Mm.
and you can carry everything with you, and it's not on your back; it's on the bicycle frame. So um, it's a lot more comfortable. um, yeah, I don't know. I love it. That's all.
So you are using a gravel bike, right? How many bikes do you have?
Oh, let's see. I have 5 bikes, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, yeah. I mean, I'm lucky. People give me bikes, and I enjoy them. I like building up a bicycle. I like assembling all the components.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think that's something that is missing in running is that there's not the artistic side that there is in cycling. Um, and so I enjoy that. But yeah, I like quote unquote gravel bikes because they are the most versatile. They do well on pavement, but they also do well on dirt. Um, and so you just need like that bike. You can cover all different kinds of terrain.
Wow. Uh, where is the furthest? I mean, you have done your bike touring, and what are the challenges that you face during your bike tour?
Well, I guess probably my longest bike tour was in July this year. I did
Wow.
it was 21 days, and it was let's see, it was about 4,000 kilometers. Yeah, it was a long tour. Over about 170 Ks a day.
Wow.
More than that, yeah, 180, something like that. But it was in the States here, up into I was going around the different mountain ranges and running the highest peak in each mountain range, and then I would bike to the next mountain range and run the highest peak in that mountain range.
Wow. How
Yeah,
many
and so
peaks are there?
6. I did 6 different mountain ranges.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know. That was one of the most, I guess, rewarding adventures I've had, because when you're out there for 3 weeks, you're really just living it. That like nothing else is going on. So you go really deep.
Wow, that's living a life. I mean, traveling. I mean, with your bike
Mm-hmm.
and you camp right during the
Yeah,
whole. Nice.
yeah. I got in 21 days. I got 2 hotel rooms.
I see.
So yeah, I was on the ground, sleeping on the ground most nights. Yeah.
But I guess in around there it'll be safer and much more. I mean, comfier rather than in Malaysia, I guess, because if
Uh,
it's here we have tropical forests and stuff. I mean, have you tried? I mean, visiting any Asian countries before?
the only Asian countries I've been to are Singapore and Japan. So I haven't been to Malaysia, but Singapore felt like a jungle. Um, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's an environment that is very foreign to me. But yeah, that's interesting. Seeing something different.
Right. So, well, we have a question here asking that what's the next plan for trail running event? I mean, do you
Oh,
have
geez,
anything? Yeah.
who knows? I don't know. I would like to do 1 or 2 a year. And now it's it's going to be ski season soon. So I won't be running a race until next year at some
I
point.
see.
Yeah.
So you'll be doing some skis then?
Yeah. Yeah. Skiing uphill and then skiing down. That's my favorite thing in the wintertime because there's no impact like there is with running, but you get very fit aerobically, with your heart and lungs.
Ah. Well, you're talking about impact just now, right? You also did mention about your injuries. In 2017, you have the Achilles, the ones that we mentioned just now. Does it still affected till today?
Yeah, yeah,
Your
totally.
Achilles?
I didn't run today because my Achilles was hurting. Yeah, so I
Wow.
was biking and climbing instead.
Ah.
Yeah, it's just, but it's up and down. It depends. I mean, the reason it's hurting today is because I ran 100 miles on it 3 weeks ago. So that's the way it is.
All right. In the meantime, we're going to give away water bottles for our viewers. Maybe Anton, can you ask any questions for them? If you have any questions like what we have talked about, like your Leadville or anything, your
Oh,
journey kitchen,
oh, just so I can,
like a quiz, like a quiz, you know.
yeah. I'm just thinking, uh,
So we have two of this.
what was my time at Leadville? I suppose. How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
The closest answer wins, I suppose.
Closest answer. So there you go for the viewers. Uh, this is a giveaway that we will give. We have two of this. So the first question is, what is Anton's timing during his Leadville's race, previous Leadville's race, 15:13. Is that correct?
No, that was in Western States.
All right. Okay. They're googling. All right. Anyway, and in the meantime, we know that you have been doing activities with Haley, right? So a partner who's like doing all these activities is important too, right? For your daily stuff like running. Even if I'm mistaken, Haley done some
yeah,
running too, right?
yeah. I mean, it's nice. Haley and I get along well because we have similar interests in what we want to be doing outside,
Mhm.
and especially like for instance, well, climbing, you have to have a partner. And on a bike tour, it's much more enjoyable if you have a partner. Running, I have always found to be kind of most enjoyable for me doing it alone, because I'm usually paying attention to some injury, and I want to be able to change the session if I need to, you know. But yeah, biking and climbing, it's more fun with a partner for sure. And yeah, I mean, Haley's obviously my favorite partner.
And she's quite the fun type too. I mean, I from the Instagram that you posted, you guys are like, you know, doing those activities together, biking, and even I saw her IG. That was her first race she saw you were, I mean, involved in.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, running has been such a big part of my identity. Like, racing has been such a big part of my identity. But, you know, we've been together for 3 years. And so Leadville was the first time this year, you know, that she'd ever seen me race. And she was like my main person who was crewing for me. So, I mean, she was fundamental to my success at the race for sure. I mean, hundreds are interesting that way, in that it is very much, other people can be involved as crew or pacers. It's a team effort, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I really appreciate her support and companionship.
Is this correct? I thought 17-7.
Yeah. The first guy there, 17:07:55, is the correct answer, of course.
All right. So don't forget to DM me, and you won this actually. Okay. Fazil. And okay. There's a guy asking, is this your running? Is running your full time job or just part time?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a full time athlete for, oh God, over 10 years now, 12 years. And I'm fortunate to continue to be able to do it. I mean, the support of La Sportiva is a huge reason why that's possible. So yeah, I'm grateful.
All right. Here we have a question. We take a question. Hi, Kay. You have proven that it's possible to race after suffer injury mentally. At any point during the training, the race, to be in an injured state again. How do you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big problem. That's something the main reason why I didn't race for 6 years, is because I absolutely feel vulnerable with injuries.
Mhm.
And I mean, it was something I thought about a lot for Leadville this year. Is like, I'm pretty sure that this is going to make the injury worse, but is it still worth it? And you just have to decide, you know, if it's important. And the reason that I decided it was worth it was because I knew that I could do it
Mhm.
physically. And it had been so long since I'd run 100 miles that it was an exciting, difficult challenge again. You know, it felt fresh, it felt new. So that made it worth it to me this time.
I see. All right. For this one, we give away for this one. Fazil, please contact us later. Give us your detail, and also another one. I'm going to give it away for Muhammad Fatuddin. Okay. You answered in our YouTube. For your information, we are live at YouTube and also Facebook at the moment. So I'm choosing one from Facebook and the other one from YouTube. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so you guys don't forget to DM me for this prize. And at the same time, we have another two of this visor cap
Hmm.
from Sportiva to give away too. Any questions, Anton, that you want to ask them, like, you know, for them to answer
Um,
about yourself?
oh, by myself. How many times have I run Leadville?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. All right, let's ask about fun questions here.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, what is your favorite race of all time?
Ah, That's a good one. Gosh, I really enjoyed. It's now called Ultra Pyreneu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
in the Pyrenees in Spain.
Uh-huh.
I ran that in 2012. That was a good one. And I also really liked Lavaredo in Italy.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I heard about
yeah.
Labradoodle. They say that there's a nice scenery there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I mean, the Dolomites are beautiful. Yeah. So it's 120 kilometers. Yeah. I ran that in 2014. I would like to do that one again, perhaps. So we'll see.
Wow. Okay. So that would be your one of your wish lists to do it again then.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Right. Uh, one three times.
No.
Nope. That's not the answer. Anyway, okay. The other question is like, okay, if you did not become a professional runner or a ultra marathoner, what would you be? I mean, what have you done as a profession? I mean, if you're not a full time runner, then
um, I don't know. I
a chef.
Yeah, I that's maybe a writer. I'm not sure.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. But you did right. You've done blogging.
Yeah. I mean, I write, but
But the
maybe
blog stopped. I mean, I noticed that the blog did until 2020, if I'm not mistaken, on your website.
yeah. Well, my website, I don't know. My website needs a lot of work. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I most of the stuff I write gets published on sponsors' blogs now. It seems like so. Yeah.
All right. So we have a few answers here: 5 times, 8 times, four
Six
times,
times. 6 times is correct.
6 times. Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
So for Firdaus, Muhammad Firdaus Salam, please DM for this. This is your giveaway. And other than that, okay, continue the questions. Before that, okay, let me see. All right. Oh yeah, the other thing, Anton, we remember about your van last time. What happened to
Uh,
your van?
well, I never had a van.
That it's like
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a truck, a
the
pickup
truck.
truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have it, and in fact, just this past weekend, Haley and I were sleeping in it.
Ah.
I just don't live in it anymore.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, like I'm in an apartment right now, but yeah, it's good for weekend trips and that kind of thing. But it's pretty small.
It's the same truck, right? The white color, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that was like epic. I mean, I saw some of your videos that you are traveling here and there with the truck and then go for a run.
Yeah, I mean that was, but that was 10 years ago, or 8 years ago. Um, I'm older now. You grow up in a certain way, and you have a stable relationship, and I mean living like that it's a very self-centered way to live, I suppose, and try not to be so self-centered anymore.
I see. Great. All right. We have a headscarf also to give away. So I have a question for the viewers. How many times did Anton involve in UTMB then? Okay. How many times did Anton I mean race in UTMB? I mean that's fairly easy, right?
I know the answer. But yeah.
There you go. We got the.
The two is correct. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Okay. So please DM me for this. The winners. We have a few more questions. Let me see. Okay. Okay. We did ask about the coffee. Okay. Would you try a race in Malaysia if given the chance?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've never been there. I mean, I would love to visit at some point. Yeah.
But here in Malaysia it's more humid, and I think the tropical forest technical is a bit different than over there.
Yeah, I'm sure, but that's why you go there, is because it's different. If it was
Yep.
the same as it was in Colorado, then why would I go?
Exactly. And we did remember that there's a long time ago, Killian did join our local race here in Kinabalu. So it's a climbathon. It's a sky racing race
Hmm.
up to the summit. I think
Yeah, yeah.
around 6K or something like that. So he did like it too. I mean, maybe one day if there is a race here, uh, we wouldn't mind to see you join here anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Mount Kinabalu seems like such a very special place. Yeah.
Yeah, because even at some point we did ask Killian what is his favorite race, and then he said Mount Kinabalu. I was like, wow,
Hmm.
okay, that's
Yeah,
something.
I've seen videos of it. It looks cool. But yeah.
All right, we have another question here. Okay, uh, who is your favorite trail runner and why?
I don't have a favorite trail runner. Um, yeah. I, I I don't know. I had heroes when I was younger in the sport,
Oh,
but now, just because I'm older, I think I take my um, inspiration from other places. So I don't know. I don't follow the sport that closely. So I don't. Yeah, I don't have a favorite trail runner.
I see. Even climbing. For climbing, do you have any like idols or anybody that you follow?
Oh, I mean, I follow all kinds of people, but um, I guess the people that inspire me the most are my friends, um,
Ah,
people that I climb with on a daily basis, or that I get out with here in Boulder, and because you have a personal connection, and so they're easier to relate to. Um, so yeah, so they're all people that you don't know.
like Lily here is asking, who were your childhood heroes?
Oh, geez, I don't know. A couple authors. Edward Abbey was one. He's an American author.
All right. So I guess we are getting to the end now. So last but not least, Anton, do you have anything to say or anything to? I mean, to summarize for the viewers, and will you come to Malaysia one day?
I mean, I'd hope to. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, it seems like a beautiful country, a very different country than where I've been, or certainly where I live, and I would love to come there and meet people and run in the forest. Yeah.
Great. Uh, well, from Pelari and I, we would like to say thank you so much. I think that's it for now because we have, I think, given away all the prizes already.
Mm.
So for those of you, your winners, congratulations. And we would like to thank you so much, Anton, for spending the time with us, almost an hour. We really appreciate the sharing session, and especially after Leadville, and you are sharing us about all your experience, nutrition and stuff. So yeah, I hope it's helpful for everyone who's watching right now.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for having me, and thanks for everyone for tuning in. Yeah. Stay well.
All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.